This is the first camp I can enjoy myself and be back. My headspace that I'm in now is way better than what I was before. That's the only thing that matters to me.
A lot of things out there about the size and all of this stuff, but people forget that Tank's a top 10 pound for pound fighter, and he's got power in both hands. And skill-wise and technique-wise, he's been doing this for so long.
In this fight, I feel like Tank has the edge for sure. He's a real fighter. And got skills, a high IQ fighter. Regardless of the weight, I've personally seen Tank, spar heavy.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a matchup that has the entire fight world buzzing. A clash of styles, sizes, and worlds. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, I know what you're thinking, but hold on, because this is way more interesting than it seems on the surface. The hype is absolutely electric, and both men are putting everything on the line to prove who the real king of the ring is. Let's start with Jake Paul. He's been more vocal than ever about his preparation for a potential fight with Tank. He's not just talking, he's bringing in serious firepower for his training camp. Jake has been boasting on social media about dropping sparring partners and even announced that pound-for-pound talent Shakur Stevenson is joining his camp this week to help him get ready. This isn't just a gimmick. He's actively seeking out the best to prepare for one of the best. But here's where it gets really interesting. For the first time, we're seeing a different side of Jake Paul. He's openly admitted something you rarely hear from him. He's scared. He said Tank is genuinely dangerous. A lot of people look at Tank's size and write him off against a bigger guy like Jake, but Jake himself is shutting that talk down. He's on record saying Tank's power is no joke in both hands and that he hits like a truck regardless of his height. For Jake Paul, the guy who seems to fear nothing, to admit he's scared to get in that ring. That's a massive statement. It tells you he respects Tank's power, and it proves this isn't the circus act many people think it is. That fear makes it real. Now let's flip the script and talk about Gervonta Tank Davis. What many fans might not realize is that Tank's entire career has been one long fight against bigger opponents. We're not just talking about during official matches. According to boxing insiders and analysts like Showbiz, Tank's journey has been wild. From the very beginning of his career, he was sparring with heavyweights. And these weren't just any heavyweights. They were skilled, experienced fighters who knew their way around the ring. And here's the kicker. Tank didn't just survive in those sparring sessions. He dominated. He was reportedly punishing these much larger men, putting on clinics against guys who outweighed him by a massive margin. Think about that for a second. If a young Tank could not only handle but also control huge, skilled heavyweights in the gym, is a cruiserweight like Jake Paul really going to intimidate him? Jake might have the size advantage, but Tank has been climbing mountains his entire life. This is just another Tuesday for him. The size difference isn't a new challenge, it's familiar territory. This brings us to the core of the matchup, experience and skill level. Those same analysts pointed out that the heavyweights Tank sparred with were far more technical and seasoned than Jake Paul is right now. We have to give Jake his credit. His improvement has been incredible. He's transitioned from a social media star to a legitimate boxer who takes the sport seriously. But the reality is he's still developing his fundamentals. He's still learning the nuances of the sweet science. Tank, on the other hand, has been swimming in the deep end with elite-level talent since he was a teenager. He's been forged in the fires of world-class competition. So, if he could handle fighters who are not only much heavier but also technically superior to Jake, what does that mean for this potential fight? It suggests that Jake's size advantage might be completely nullified. It might not be the ace up his sleeve that everyone assumes it is. The narrative that this is a mismatch for Tank is completely backward. As the storyteller Showbiz made crystal clear, this fight isn't Tank stepping up into Jake's world. It's Jake Paul stepping into extremely dangerous territory, a territory ruled by a man who has conquered giants before. What do you guys think? Does Jake's power and size win the day, or does Tank's experience against bigger men and his legendary power make this an impossible task for Jake? Let me know your predictions down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button, and make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next video. We'll see you in the next one.